Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over another Advanced Wars by Web replay that I played on the Global League. Can't wait to show this one. This one's pretty good. Let me just adjust my settings here. Okay, so for this match, we have another match of my favorite CO, Andy versus Kindle, and very interesting match here for today, for sure. This map is called Burnt Out and Too Tired to Dance. It's actually a pretty good map, honestly. It definitely has some interesting aspects to it. For one, there are 2 airports and 3 bases for each player. 1 airport near the middle, and then 1 airport in the corner. So you can build a lot of units, but it is a standard game that we played, so you don't get a lot of money to build out every airport base every single turn. But it is nice to have the variety, be able to build wherever you like. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the COs really quick. So we have player 1, which is my opponent, named Explicit. They're going to be playing as Kindle, and I've got myself, of course, playing as Andy, my favorite CO, of course. Kindle, all units, including air units and naval, of course, get an extra 40% attack while in urban terrain. That includes cities, comm towers, bases, whatever you want. And that's a lot, as I've reviewed her before, previously on the channel. That's a lot of firepower bonus, and especially with comm towers on the map, definitely increases a lot. Her power, Urban Blight, damages all of my units by 3 HP that are on urban terrain, such as cities. And it boosts her attack by another 40% while on urban terrain, which is crazy strong. So I gotta definitely make sure I'm either on the properties, so she can't use them for the firepower, but also avoid them so I don't take damage from her power. Her superpower, High Society, gives an urban bonus of 130%, so an additional 90% attack power, and it increases by an additional 3% firepower for every city that she owns. Not every property, but every city. At least I don't think it's every property. I'm pretty sure it's every city. So High Society, not usually used too much by Kindle players, but it can be useful in certain circumstances. But yeah, so that's Kindle. Probably going to see a lot of Urban Blights on this match. As for me, Andy, I like to play him because he has no day-to-day abilities, therefore he gets no benefits or disadvantages. Biggest reason I like playing him is not his power, which is Hyper Repair, repairing all units by 2 HP. Kind of weak. Not very useful, but it's good against like global damage dealers. But not enough for Kindle's power, which is 3 HP. But his hyper upgrade is what I love using, and it repairs all my units by 5 HP and increases their attack by an additional 10%. And I get 1 movement, so it's really nice, and it's all for 6 stars. So Andy, my very balanced and useful CO. Can't wait to play him again in this global match. I'll usually play Andy because he's my best CO in the global matches, because I want to play my best and get my record all the way up. So let's go ahead and move their charts, and let's get right into the match. So we have me as Andy in red, as Red Fire, and against Explicit, he's going to be playing Kindle as Teal Galaxy. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start, obviously, like every game, we're going to start with just our capturing phases. Always go for the neutral base first, because you want to get the infantry out as soon as possible, as well as other ground vehicles to move around the map. So I'm not going to really take too long on this. We're going to skip right through here for. I don't think we really do too much different. I think everything is pretty much the same as each other. If we do make a difference, which I do see right now, I went for the airport. They're going for the city first over here. So that's one little difference, but it's not going to be too bad, as we're just trying to build up our economy early on. However, Explicit does start off on day 5 with their first tank in this bottom left base. So we'll see how I react to that. I respawn with my own tank and an artillery. If you guys have been watching me, I do like using artilleries, especially building them early game, because they are good for covering infantry, and there's no way your enemy is going to sacrifice a strike on an infantry capturing something with a tank, and so you're technically usually able to get artillery out there pretty early and cover at least one unit, and then back off a little once you get the properties that you want. And or I also have this tank here to obviously cover as well. And so they're going to continue moving forward with their infantry. They build a tank on the right side this time. So I start capturing my airport up here. They're not even close to these properties yet. So I think I currently have the better capture, game going, but that's my opinion, of course. We shall see. I also do have this comm tower immediately. I went straight for it here. They're a little bit of a ways from theirs. Not that it's going to make too big of a difference, but it could. So again, I'm going to move my artillery forward, my tanks here in the middle to go whichever way I need it to move. Of course, I built a tank on the right side to respond to Explicit's tank. And yes, I do base skip, if you guys have noticed. There's nothing wrong with base skipping as long as you know what you're doing. Currently, I actually have one more unit than Explicit does. So actually, I'm okay, but I had to base skip because I ran out of money. I needed to get a tank out on this side. I didn't want to build another artillery and an infantry here. I'd rather build a tank to get some territorial presence. So tank moves up. Obviously, this is a free infantry or free infantry kill here because I really wanted to get that comm tower before she did, and so I figured, might as well go for it. Get that 10% attack boost early on. They continue to build a second tank on the right side. My turn rolls in. Go ahead and start capturing. I started capturing the corner airport before they did, as well as getting my airport in the middle. I might be able to build some battlecopters a lot sooner. So I go ahead, I attack this infantry here. Even though this tank could get the first shot, obviously I have a artillery here to back it up, and there's no way she can hit. I want to say she, but most likely because it's Kindle, just so we know. Not saying Explicit is a he or she, but just because of the CO. So now this tank, if it wants to hit me, it can if it wants to, but I will be able to kill the tank on my next turn. Alright, Explicit's turn rolls in, and we're going to just continue capturing properties, of course. And still, a little bit of ways from capturing this comm tower here, as well as these properties. Tank gets a shot on my infantry here, and this one's going to come and chain here, so it's not going to be too good if I attack first, because she'll get the better engagements, but we'll see what happens. So obviously running away from here because there's nothing this tank can do. So I did get this comm tower for one infantry, but in the long run I think that'll be worth it. And then she builds a tank on the left and the right side with infantry in the middle. Alright, my turn rolls in. Continue capturing some properties, of course. And this was kind of funny that I did this. I probably should have kept my infantry out of the mountains, because I think this tank goes here and attacks one of these infantry, which gets a boost in attack power, and I really can't attack this tank anyway, so that was a misplay on my part. But move this tank to the left so this infantry can't capture here for free. Move my artillery back. Only one infantry or one tank can strike me here, and she cannot kill me in one shot, so now my artillery is protecting my infantry. And if they try to capture the comm tower, my artillery is actually in range to defend it, so that's also why I built the artillery, to make sure I can hold on to it. And of course I respawn with 2 tanks and an infantry as well. So we're mirroring a lot of our moves with the same units as each other. So nothing, too crazy yet. So going into the middle to capture some more properties, going for the comm tower at last as well. Tank obviously goes onto the city, one-shots my infantry even though it's in a mountain because of that incredible attack boost. So a big mistake right here for me. I pretty much threw that infantry away. And now she has pretty good, territorial control. But on this side, at least now I have, a good presence, and there's nothing Kindle can really do to capture these properties, so I can kind of play a little bit relaxed on that side. Builds an anti-air in the middle, as well as a tank on the right side with an infantry on the left. So anti-air preparing for my airports that I captured, that I might build battlecopters. Not a bad idea, but there's no guarantee that I would build battlecopters in general. So if anything, I guess they could kill infantry. Alright, so if we take a quick look, I do have currently a capture lead going into my turn. I'm going to start capturing 2 properties. However, she will capture 1, 2, 3, 4 cities on the next turn, giving her the capture lead as well as the comm tower if I don't stop her. So, and she still has this airport to capture as well. So we'll see how things go for me. However, I will start capturing this one. I'm pretty sure she's going to interrupt it though. Keep moving my infantry ever so slowly over so my artillery doesn't get come into danger. And of course I start capturing the middle properties as well. I make sure my infantry are covering my tanks, so that way if her tanks want to attack me, I can get the first strike. So both of us are being a little bit cautious of each other. I respawn with her tank and entire with 2 tanks of my own and an infantry. No need to build a battlecopter just yet. So she gets her comm tower, but like I said, it wasn't really a big issue because we haven't taken too many engagements. So maybe me going for this comm tower was a mistake in the beginning because we only took what, like 2 engagements, so it's not too bad for them. Enter moves to the left. Very interesting. Moving over here instead of going like to the middle. Infantry interrupts my capture here. No surprise. Why not stop me from getting some captures early on to prevent me from getting some income. This tank rolls in and attacks my infantry by itself. Very surprising, to be honest. Tank comes in, interrupts my capture on the city. Another tank comes in to help support it. This tank doesn't do anything and builds 2 tanks and infantry once more. So, a little surprised by this attack. Kind of like a suicide mission in my opinion, but fine by me. Capture 2 properties, start capturing the one on the outside. This is a free infantry attack. This tank's not in range, so that was a free attack from me. Move my infantry back to the city to get repaired up to 5. On the next turn, I go ahead and get the free shot on the tank. It's not really free since there are 2 tanks in this area, but I can easily reinforce every turn with a new tank, so that's why I was surprised by that attack. I do the same thing that she did. I go on the city and get another attack on the infantry because this tank can't attack me. And if it wanted to, I have the defense advantage here. Go ahead and start moving my troops forward. This artillery, once again, very well defended here. Can defend the infantry. And this tank can't get to me at all, so that's good. No sense in this infantry staying here, so I move back so I can repair it for later. Move the tank 4 onto the city. Might as well attack and kill this infantry. I'm actually surprised this 10 infantry killed it in 1 shot. Very lucky roll. I don't even think that was normally possible, but I'll take it. Get another first strike with a tank here. I'm happy to do so because I've got tanks that come in every turn as well. So very happy with that. And then of course I'm going to be very cautious here still. Build an artillery, build my first battlecopter and a tank, and a base skip again. I base skip on the left side because there's no really need for more troops on this side as I have plenty of infantry. And I have 2 healthy tanks and artillery. This side I'm mostly probably going to play defense as I need to get these 2 neutral cities to catch up in the capture game. Alright, Kindle's turn rolls in, moves infantry back obviously. This tank moves back to get repaired. Same thing with this one. Not sure if they attack. They do attack into me. But again, it's not too bad because then I can move my tank back and I can attack with a fresh new tank on the next turn. This tank also moves this way. She ends up killing the tank, but moves into range of this tank, and then my other tank can actually strike the one from the city. So, very bad engagements right off the bat for Kindle here. All the other troops move forward. Builds a tank, and infantry. My turn rolls in. Day 11 here. So I capture another city. So now if we take a look, they have a... Well, let's rewind that. We have a 2... Explicit has a 2 property lead over me. That's these 2 neutral cities right here. And it doesn't seem like I'm going to get them anytime soon. Well, actually I want to get this one, it looks like this turn, so that's nice. But this one's quite a ways away from me getting control of it. However, I'm about to get some good tank engagements, like I mentioned before. I end up actually not killing or attacking this tank, but rather killing this one and attacking the infantry. I'm actually a little surprised by that. But I guess I wanted to make sure the infantry are damaged to prevent them from capturing my properties, most likely. So, like I said, a little surprising by my attack there. Move my infantry forward here to protect my artillery. Move the tank back to get repaired. As long as my units become like 4 or 5s, then, or even a 6, I'm very happy to keep them in the back and wait for my superpower to come in. Because again, my hyper upgrade repairs my units by 5 HP. So this infantry will go to full health. Even like this 4 will go to a 9. This tank in a couple turns will go up to a 4 or 6, and then I can repair that all the way up to 10 as well. So I always try to keep damaged units in the back, or use them as walls if anything. That way I can repair them later. So obviously my tank moves in, and this artillery is now guarding this tank. So even if they want to attack me, even from the city, it's gonna really hurt them. So again, another bad engagement by Explicit here, in my opinion. My tank rolls in over here because I've got 2 tanks here, and I also kill an infantry. This tank, yes, can strike this one, but that is also why I have this artillery here, and it's going to back up my tanks so I can strike on them next turn. And I guess I go for this capture just to put pressure on their vehicles to try and stop me. I guess that's what I was trying to do. Probably not the best decision. I think I should have went for the strike on the tank, but I think I was too worried about evening out the income, so we'll see how that works out. Build a tank, move my tank actually to the left side because there's no reason for my tank to stay on over here because I can't really exit this way. And this tank is the only thing that could attack my infantry, so if it wants to, then I can hit it with a new tank next turn. So I'm not too worried about leaving the site exposed. Day 12 rolls in, and let's see, Kindle moves back here, infantry moves back. So on this side, most likely Kindle should take a more defensive position as there's not really much they can do attacking into my artillery. Plus they need this Antar to come to the right to engage my battlecopter. Tank comes over, attacks this tank, which to me is a mistake because this full power tank could have attacked first and almost one shot. I would say the infantry could have helped out. Infantry come in and attack. But again, now I get to strike this full HP tank for free, and I get to actually probably kill this one if I want to as well. Antar hasn't done anything yet, moves back over here, and gets tries to defend against my battlecopter. Tank moves back away, hides behind some infantry, so that way I can't strike them. This is a funny infantry. There's no way I'm going to let you have the city, so obviously kind of a throwaway, but uses the tank here to stop my capture on the city. We're really close to my super here, and Kindle is close to their power. They did not use their power this turn, I believe, because I only have 1 infantry, 2 infantry on properties, 3 actually, 3, and then the 2 tanks I built. So there's not really a big need for using their power this turn, and that's one thing I actually love about facing Kindle players. For all you guys watching this video and you play me, do not use Kindle because I'm a very skilled player at making sure Kindle cannot utilize their power by damaging my units on properties. So one thing I'm very proud of. So we'll see what they do going forward. They build 2 battlecopters, a tank, and 2 infantry this turn. So lots of money for them from the previous turn, and they they did not base skip this turn. Very interesting, including the airports. My turn rolls in. Once again, artillery gets a nice juicy shot on this artillery. I'm going to move my infantry back, and to help this case right here, even if my artillery gets damaged, my super is going to be coming in very soon. So any damage I take from these weakened tanks, I can just repair up. So I'm not too afraid of it actually getting hit. So I go ahead and finish off that infantry. I actually ignore the tank and I attack the infantry here, because again, if you guys know how I play, I like to damage the infantry, that way they cannot capture any properties. So even if they get a little bit of a combat advantage, they can't capture properties to, take income lead. So I still have a chance, but there's also no tanks in this area that can damage me. Even this one is out of range, so only these damaged tanks can attack me. So I'm not afraid of it. I also have to bring this tank down and move over here and destroy the tank on the city. Move my other infantry up. These are good for protecting my artillery. Battlecopter moves to the left, attacks the infantry from the river, so it's out over into the Antar. And then I go ahead and obviously finish it off. Continue capturing here. I even join cap. I really want to try to get the city, but it also pulls in Kindle's troops to try and stop me. Therefore, I can get strikes like this one that are favorable engagements. And of course I move my other tank and infantry up to support. Keep this guy protected so he can't die, and it can help repair him with my superpower. I don't know why I moved this infantry onto the city. That was kind of stupid. I should put it onto this forest. But move my tanks around. Keep this one in the back to get repaired for my super. I build an anti-air as there is a battlecopter on this side. I build my own battlecopter in the middle, a tank, and an infantry. One thing I like to do is I don't need to worry about the building anti-airs against my enemy battlecopters as long as I can match them. In this case, I already have 2 out to match the one that's going to come from the right, and I build the anti-air on the left because this copter is 2 turns away from engaging me on this left side. So, especially with Andy, if I take copter to copter engagements, I can actually repair them with my power, so I'm not too afraid of not having to build an anti-air. As long as I kill all the anti-air in the area, my copters will be fine, and they can deal with any other copters that my enemy builds. Kindle's turn rolls in. I'm pretty sure they're going to use their power soon because they are full, and they probably would like to, you know, use it. Oops, I reset the music. Alright, let's see what they do. So I'm going to move some units around here. Continues to attack and tries to prevent me from capturing the city. But as you guys can see, I am a 2 HP, and I only need 5 more to capture the city. So in order for them to interrupt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they actually can't. Because right now I'm going to have my super. I'm most likely going to get that city, unless I decide not to use my power, which would be kind of funny if I don't. But we'll see what they do. So they're taking like a defensive position. They haven't used their power yet, as again, if you guys take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4 newly built units. So those ones are on properties, obviously. And otherwise, 1 damaged infantry, that's a 2 HP, and 1 infantry here. So no units for their power to actually come in handy. So they didn't use Urban Blight at all again. Another battlecopter, another tank, and 2 infantry from Explicit. So no power from Kindle. So it's my turn. And in order for me to get this city, I can join cap again and wait for next turn, or I can try and pop my super this turn if I want and capture it then. Let's see what we do. Move my tank over here because again, only the battlecopter can strike this infantry. So if a tank wants to attack me, I'll just repair on my turn anyways. And we're going to move forward a little bit here, just a little bit, so I can, you know, maybe get my tanks to move out. I forego the capture, and to me, I feel like I have a decent time, you know, going engagements, even with a slight income deficit, that I can actually get some good engagements here. As you guys will see, I can kill that infantry, kill this infantry. So now, in order, again, there's no real dangerous presence other than this tank coming to full HP next turn. So I think it was worth the sacrifice. It's not like I'm losing in any way here, so on the unit count or value. So it's fine that I don't have the city yet. And I'm going to move a little bit more, you know, in a defensive position here, because there's no reason for me to move forward when there's a battlecopter. This way my anti-air can actually protect all these units here, where the battlecopter can strike. Even with my super, I can actually protect some of these infantry as well. And I have my copter here to protect against tanks and such. I built a tank, battlecopter, infantry, and another artillery here in the middle. This artillery will actually be pretty useful, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. It might be a different match, but we'll see. So I didn't get my super. I actually took no engagements that turn, just 2 infantry that were weak. So Explicit's turn rolls in, and let's just take a quick look again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 6 units on properties. And yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are vehicles, including the battlecopter, but 4 of them are newly built units. There's only 2 units that are on properties. So if Kindle wants to use their power, it's not really going to be beneficial, especially since I can repair it up next turn. But here it is anyways. Let's go ahead and change the music really quick. So Urban Blight pops. Again, there's the only, 6 units that gets hit, so it's not too scary. But she does decide to roll in with the tanks here. Also attacks with the infantry. Battlecopter, I could have swore I was out of range. Oh, that was movement. Never mind. I actually do get hit here. However, this is okay because again I can repair that with my superpower. It's no problem. and doesn't push forward, you know, all entirely with all their units. They actually are still being a little cautious, even though they took a couple engagements. Definitely didn't want me to be in this position for some reason, but now my tanks can actually strike them. A little surprised. Builds an entire tank and infantry. Alright, so my turn rolls in, and let's see what we do. Battlecopter kills infantry on road. Tank moves in, attacks tank on the city, or tanks from the city, sorry. And I pop my first hyper upgrade. And if we take a look, I always love doing this. I'm pretty sure everybody does. When I pop my hyper upgrade, let's see how much damage or funds I get back in value. 112,000 to 130. So I got 18,000 in repairs this turn. If you guys take a look, there's no unit here that isn't really worth of no value, except for the 7 maybe, but everybody is practically full health. So let's go ahead and see what we can do now. We can go ahead and kill a tank, kill an infantry. With that movement, oops, my movement boost, my battlecopter can go from here to over here and actually strike their battlecopter first. And yes, this entire is here, but at least both battlecopters are canceling out each other, and this tank practically took no damage. 1 HP isn't really going to bother me, so bad engagement here for Kindle. I actually go in and attack this infantry here, and the reason being is I kill it so I can actually strike with the anti-air of my tank. And what also helps is that I'm attacking from the comm tower. It's going to take 2 tanks to attack this and dislodge it for her to get the property bonus. So this was really good. So now this anti-air, it cannot one-shot my battlecopter, and their battlecopter has been nullified. So very good engagement for me. I tried using some luck damage to kill it, didn't quite get the kill, so I ended up using my tank anyways. But if I did get this kill with my infantry, I could use this tank to attack one of these units here. 9 goes in to attack as well, because why not? I do have my power going. Move my artillery forward to help cover my infantry a little bit here, and this tank. Attack with an infantry, because why not? Tank moves forward from all the way over here. Well, it was a 7 or 9. Went back to full HP, and now I can strike here. First strike here. Kill a tank, and I'm going to move my infantry forward. Move my battlecopter forward, because again, this anti-air can hit me, but it's not going to do too much damage. Maybe 4 damage at most. So I'm not scared of it. And I'm going to move my infantry forward to protect against this battlecopter on my tanks. And there's nothing really that they can do. Even these tanks can't reach my tank. And I'm going to move my artilleries and all my infantry this way. These infantry are all positioned to capture. And there's only vehicles in which, if she wants to attack my infantry, totally fine by me. And I've got artilleries anyways defending. So this is really good. A really good position for me. I am definitely going to get this neutral city very soon. I built 2 tanks and an infantry to counter their vehicles they built. Alright, so that was a very good turn. Let's see what Kindle does. So, anti-air goes and attacks my battlecopter. As expected, it should. It's really damaged, so it might as well try to get some value out of itself. Infantry attacks. Obviously, they're going to hit a lot of infantry because I moved forward with them. But that's fine. These infantry are all going to, start getting picked off because they're in the middle of nowhere. They're not on properties or really good defensive terrain. And then they suicide infantry here and get their urban blight. Let's go ahead and play that music again. Which, to me, it wasn't that bad. If we take a look, I go from 133,000 to, what, 120? 121. Hitting what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units? 8 units? That's not too bad. It was worth the engagements for me to attack on my turn. The only one I would say I was just disappointed was this copter. I probably should have attacked from like a different spot, maybe on the plane or something. But I think I didn't know I was going to get this entire first, so I probably could have attacked from the side, but I didn't. So we'll see what this power does for them. They get to one-shot my 8 tank with this power boosted tank from the city. So that was a very good hit. With the damage, they can actually dislodge this tank and attack from the comm tower. So very good power this turn for Kindle. Moves infantry forward to try and, I guess, prepare to capture my comm tower, but they're not going to get this one. It's impossible. To me, it's impossible. I've got too many units in this area. kills the infantry on the mountain. I would have actually attacked the infantry on the road to deal as much damage as possible. Tank moves over to the city repair. Copter moves to the right instead of staying on the left, obviously because I have an anti-air here, so there's no point staying around. Builds another battlecopter, tank, and 2 infantry. So they're constantly building battlecopters. To be honest, I'll say that I was a little shocked because I'm going to constantly have the better battlecopter presence, especially with me being able to repair them. And I do have an anti-air here as well that can kill, in the middle. So them building more copters doesn't really help them all too much. They need a little bit, either artillery, because they don't have a single one, and my artillery have been very good for me, or maybe some medium tanks, since it would be very hard for my tanks and copters to kill them. But they decided to keep going with numbers. If we take a look, they do have the unit lead right now, and the value lead, but it is now my turn, and I am second player as well. Let's see what happens now. Go ahead and kill some units. Obviously, I get to attack this copter here. This anti-air cannot reach me because there's rivers around it, and this battlecopter is out of position. So even though it wasn't the best engagement, I actually get a nice value out of it. Artillery gets to hit a free tank here. I'm going to move back to try and keep some units alive, of course. This anti-air, not really scary. Again, it's not going to one-shot my copter. Even from the comm tower, I don't think it will. But I move my infantry back to finish it off anyways. I get 2 striking infantry here. And like I said, my copter is out of range of the anti-air, so my copters have been very good for me. I actually threatened this city before I even start capturing this one. So in order for them to interrupt this, they have to go through my infantry or use their copters to interrupt the captures. I position my units around my artillery, of course, making sure that I can, retaliate if they want to try and get to them. And of course, I start going for that neutral city once more. And this is been like 5-6 days that I still haven't had this city, and I'm doing just fine. Copter, tank, and 2 infantry as well from me. So obviously I'm going numbers game as well, especially since now we go look at the values now. I do have a 40,000 lead, and I have a 7 unit count lead with the 1 property deficit. So very good engagements. I would say bad engagements by Explicit throughout most of this match, and that's what's causing me to gain the edge here. Let's see if they can come back though. Their turn rolls in. Let's see. They take an engagement on my tank, killing it. Infantry attacks my artillery. Very cute. That doesn't really do anything. If anything, that actually helps me because I get a little bit more co-power for that. Tank moves back. Infantry attacks from the comm tower. Only does 1 damage. This only does 1 damage. So even with that 40% boost, or 50 in this case with the comm tower, only 1 HP damage. So I wasn't very phased by that. Copter suicides into mine because it's pretty much useless at this point. Anti-air moves forward. Tank moves forward to hit my artillery. I'm actually okay with that because now I get to hit a tank. And if you guys take a look, or if you guys need a little tip, even if you get to hit an artillery with a tank, if you're going to get killed, it doesn't really make sense because your tank is worth 7,000 and the artillery that you just struck, even though it didn't die, it's only worth 6,000. So you're trading off a more expensive unit just to hit this one. Now unless you have like a massive force that can attack all the units, then it's worth it. But now my artillery gets to strike the tank and you only got to hit my artillery, you didn't get to kill it. Tank attacks here, destroying it as well. Nothing interrupts my capture on their property. They could have used this copter here to interrupt it, or maybe this copter to interrupt it, but they did not. So that means I want to not only even up the capture lead, but also flip it. So now I'm going to have a capture lead, and they're going to have a 2 property deficit. They build a copter, tank, and an anti-air. Base skip 1 base and the airport. My turn rolls in. I immediately go for those captures, and now look, we have a 22 to a 24 property, flip. So now I have the lead in almost every way. Artillery actually strikes this tank that's on the road for more damage, which is really good. I use infantry luck damage to kill it, I believe, right? Yes. And so I can use my anti-air to kill the copter. So now there's no more copters here. This one's over here, but it can only attack my anti-air. My tank rolls over here. I attack here. even though I took a lot of damage back, my power is coming in very soon. I also attack here. I do believe I'm going for that super, which is why I'm attacking these units, because while I'm a 5 and a 6 now, with my super I'll become 10s. I attack the tank here to get more co-power. I need just a little bit more, like 2800 more. Take more infantry engagements. Like I said, even though these are very bad engagements, even this one, I'm slowly, so slowly building up co-power, so I can get my super. Even this, an infantry versus an entire, just so I can get my super. So I pop this super. I'm gonna play this music instead. And this superpower right here seals the game. We take a look really quick. 89,000. Use hyper upgrade, repair up, and we go to 19. 89 to 19. 30,000 value recovery from that hyper upgrade. And all those units I took engagements with: 6 tank, 2 infantry, the attack on my artillery, my copter that's still alive here, my copter that's still alive here, all these infantry, they're all healed up now. And again, this is why I love Andy so much. If you take a look at the map, there's no unit under 7 HP for me. They're all nice and well, except for this guy right here. They're all healthy and ready to, fight again. Copter movement boost comes and kills the infantry. Kills the infantry over here. Copter can fly all the way over here, attack the tank. My copter can engage this newly built battlecopter without worry, because there's no anti-air here that can kill me. And these 2 copters are now damaged, and they didn't build another one. So my copter again gets another good shot for free. Come over, kill a tank. Artillery that was hit now gets to hit the anti-air. I kill a tank. Tank moves in. Infantry, heck, I'll attack this, because why not? Because there's nothing else that can attack me. And I just keep the stream of infantry coming as well. Infantry comes over, attacks the one on the mountain. Infantry comes over, try to luck damage the tank, but doesn't work. I build battlecopter, tank, and tank here. I think these 2 artilleries I had already used, so that's why they didn't do anything. That was just a visual bug. But with that superpower, you can take a look at our values. I have a 10 unit lead, a 2 property lead, and I almost triple their value. Therefore, they resign after that turn. That was probably one of the best finishes that I've just destroyed my opponent's entire army. I mean, if you take a look, they've got 1 tank here, an 8 tank, this anti-air that can't do anything, and this tank that just got built. They have nothing else that can actually deal any damage this turn. So, yeah, really strong superpower that Andy has, and this is why he's my favorite CO of all time. There's just no way people can beat it. it's just that good. And it even gets even better in high funds when I can build like medium tanks, bombers, Neos, and you don't kill them, then I can repair them back up. So, but yeah, I love facing Kindle players. So if you do happen to face me, don't choose Kindle, because I'm just going to destroy you easily. I'm going to choose Andy most likely in my global matches. But this was a very fun match. I think only at one point I was kind of worried just because I couldn't get this city, and I took some bad engagements early on the right side. But like I said, throughout the entire match, my opponent did take quite a few bad engagements. They were really pushing like over on the right side and in the middle to attack me, leading to me destroying their units while they only damaged mine. So as you always, when you're facing an Andy player, you should try and destroy your opponent's units so they can't repair using their power. In this case, my opponent did not do that. So yeah, a really fun match. This match actually got me deep into my 1200 rating, I believe. I'm actually 12 as of right today when I'm making this video. I actually just won another match. I am 1266 in my player rating. I'm really close to 1300. I'm very happy of that. I have not lost any matches in the past like 2 months. Not that I play a lot. I only play a few games at a time, and only a couple of them make it for replays because they're, you know, worth noting. But I'm having so much fun right now. I'm really close to 1300, so it's really exciting. So keep checking back at the channel so you guys can see more replays, as well as check out my other series, the War Room series, where I use random COs on the War Room maps in the game. Right now we're doing Advance Wars 2. And I will be trying to get out the campaign again, as well as the advanced campaign right after. I've just been really busy, and I was sick for over a month, so I haven't had time. But yeah, hopefully we can keep things rolling, and I'll get more replays for you guys. So that's it from me today. Like the video, leave your comments down below what you guys thought of it, what you thought of them, how they played, how I played. Like I said, we both made some bad engagements here and there, but overall I had the better play, obviously, because I won. Yeah, if you guys want to play a match, let me send me a message on Advanced Wars by Web. Just send me a game and say, hey, let's play on this map. I'll be happy to play free matches against you guys if you want to. Just not Fog of War, because I suck at Fog of War. If you guys take a look at my profile on Advanced Wars by Web, I don't play many Fog of War gold matches because I suck at it. So don't expect that, but high funds and standard I'm always down to play. And subscribe to the channel if you have not already to check out more replays as well as other gaming content. In case you guys are not familiar with the channel, I do Halo every Thursday. The campaigns on Legendary. And I play Advanced Wars about 2 times a week, Advanced Wars by Web or Advanced Wars 2. I'm currently playing on the Reboot Camp. And then I also do some Fire Emblem, and right now I'm currently streaming Hollow Knight on Tuesdays, which I did not stream yesterday, May the 7th, because I was busy. So I did not stream Hollow Knight that day, but I will make it up next week. And so, yeah, stick around the channel, check out the other content I have to offer, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, bye bye.